Israel is witnessing a widening religious divide with a difference. Secular Jews who have to do military service claim it's unfair that the ultra-religious are excluded from such duty. The latter, though, say their contribution to the country's security is no less important. RT's Paula Sleer spoke to people on both sides.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is struggling to form a government. 5 weeks after parliamentary elections, he can't get potential coalition partners to agree. The stumbling block, whether or not ultra-religious Orthodox Jews should serve in the IDF.
The religious parties are certainly beginning to understand that things have changed. They're going to find themselves challenged on many fronts. Military service is going to be one of them. And as a result, they will have to conserve their political capital to fight on the things they care about most.
Most ultra-religious Jews have never been in the Israeli army, and religious political parties have never been pressed on the issue like they're being now. But January's parliamentary elections saw new players coming to the fore, whom Netanyahu needs in his coalition if he's to form a majority government. But they're insisting the religious play their part. Like this woman who spearheaded a campaign with other like-minded Israeli mothers, they're fed up with what they call an injustice that their children should serve while others don't.
We felt in our guts that something is very unfair, that we are going to give our children to the army, not knowing if we are going to get them back. And 50% of the mothers in Israel do not have to worry because their children do not go to the army.
Aaron is 28 years old, married with 2 children. While others his age were doing their national service, he was here studying. Far from being apologetic, he feels the contribution he makes is as important, if not more.
Torah scholars are the backbone of the Jewish people. I think my obligation, first of all, is to preserve the Jewish intellect and the Jewish mind for our sake, for this country's sake, and for the generations to come. And yes, while I might be not putting my life at risk, I'm also contributing to this country's security.
They also say, which does make any sense for me, that for each student that studies the Torah, a soldier is not getting killed. So if you will take the 22,800 soldiers that were killed until now, from Independence Day until now, what does it mean? That they didn't study enough?
But the frustration among secular Israelis who make up most of this population goes beyond just army service. They complain ultra-religious Jews don't work or pay taxes while receiving disproportionate government support. Just about every city in Israel has a religious neighborhood like this. 1 in 10 Israelis is ultra-Orthodox. The challenge remains how to include them in a society that is increasingly hostile to them. Whether Netanyahu eventually chooses to include religious partners or leave them out of his coalition, there's no running away from the growing internal divide in an already divided country.